All right. So we're going to look at different way of solving this problem. Right? We've already looked at problems like these before. And we solved them using, using the formula that cosine was x over r, sine was y over r, and so on and so forth. Now we can solve these without looking at the unit circle and trying to think of cosine as x over r or sine as y over r, so on and so forth, by looking at the properties that we just did. Okay, so first of all, cosine is negative 5/13, right? And we know one thing, so it's negative. So what does that mean for us? If cosine is negative only in these two quadrants, right? This is where cosine is negative. So that means my theta is restricted to these two quadrants. And now that makes it more specific, which means theta is going to be, this is from pi and 3 pi over 2. So theta is in the third quadrant. What do we know about that? We know that obviously cosine is negative in the third quadrant, but we know that tangent is positive here, right? So the value of tangent that we get is going to be positive. Now, if cosine theta is negative 5/13, we know that secant theta, which is 1 over cosine theta, is going to be 1 over negative 5/13, which is negative 13 over 5. Okay, so secant theta is negative 13 over 5. Well, there's a relation, if you remember, there's a relation between secant theta and tan theta with your Pythagorean identities, and we had that tan squared theta plus 1 equals secant squared theta. Or if I subtract 1 on both sides, I get tan squared theta equals secant squared theta minus 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and write, if secant theta is negative 13 over 5, secant squared theta is going to be negative 13 over 5 squared minus 1, which is going to be 169 over 25 minus 1, okay, or that makes it 144 out of 25. All right, so tan squared theta equals 144 out of 25, which means that tan theta, right, now tan theta is going to be the square root of 144 out of 25. And remember one thing, tan is positive, so tan will be the positive square root here, and that comes out to be 12 over 5. Okay, so if cosine theta is negative 5/13 and theta is in the third quadrant, tan theta has the value of 12 over 5.